Okay, we're installing our chain drive BDL basket with the hub, our Kevlar clutch plates, and there's multiple ways that you could use this on your motorcycle. You'd be able to use it with your compensating sprocket, with our basket hub and clutch assembly with a ball bearing pressure plate. Or we also have this, we offer it with our compensating sprocket or a solid front sprocket. Today I'm going to be showing you with a stock bike using the stock chain, compensating sprocket, and the BDL basket. The first thing that we want to do, you're going to see in your kit, it's going to come with a different pinion gear for the starter, because with the BDL clutch basket it goes with the coarser tooth sprocket. And the first thing you're going to want to replace your pinion gear, and you just put it on and then tighten up your fastener. And then you want to tighten it up and torque it, and then bend your tab in, and you're going to be doing that as per your Harley specs. Make sure that your pinion gear is fitting in properly. You can spin it around, make sure the detent spring is pulling back. Put your sprocket spacer on, wrap your chain around, and then you'll be able to get the hub started, get your front sprocket started, and everything should just fall right in place. What you want to do is you want to make sure that your sprocket alignment, if your stock basket was on here, everything is going to be going to align right back up with your stock basket shims and everything you had in here. If you're using this, if you're putting on a new compensating sprocket or whatever, you want to always check your alignment on your chain. And anyway, you got everything here. You want to soak these plates for 10 to 15 minutes in whatever fluid you're going to use. What we recommend with these Kevlars is that you use automatic transmission type F. It's the best fluid, either that or B&M trick shift fluid. It's the best fluid that we've found that works well with the Kevlar plates. If you're not going to use that, make sure whatever you use, it is not synthetic based fluid. So then what you're going to do after they're pre-soaked, you're going to install your clutch plates, and every other one gets a steel. You're going to end up with a steel. You take your stock clutch hub nut, tighten your clutch hub nut. Then you always want to torque this to the spec that it goes. Then your front compensating sprocket, run it up, get it started. You want to torque your front engine sprocket down.
Yeah, what I'm going to be showing you here today is the installation of a clutch in our CD 1-90, which is our chain drive clutch, and this will work in any of our chain drive clutches with the coil springs. So anyway, what you want to start off first and do is pre-soak your Kevlar plates, the frictions, in ATF fluid for about 15-20 minutes. And the reason we use ATF, it seems to work the best, and what you don't want in there is a super slippery or friction something that reduces friction, because clutches work with friction. So that's why we try to stick with an ATF type fluid, and it seems to work the best with the Kevlar. So anyway, what we're going to start off is we're going to put in one of the steel plates first. It's 79 thousandths thick. And then we're going to put in one more steel, which is 79 thousandths thick. And just as a note, all the steels in this kit are the same thickness, so you don't have to measure each one of them. And then when the last plate goes on, you'll notice that you actually have a fiber facing you. Now we're going to take the pressure plate, so we'll put that on, and we'll grab a shoulder bolt and stick it in. And what we're going to do is install 6 springs and shoulder bolts for a standard setup. And so what we'll do is we'll have 2 together, then we're going to skip 1, and then we're going to have another 2 together, and then we'll skip 1 position and have 2 together. And this is the standard setup. And as you can notice, that the pressure plate does have 9 holes in it, and we include 3 extra springs. If you happen to have a lot higher horsepower, things like that, we can get a little more spring pressure on the clutch. And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and run all these down. So then after you've put in your 6 springs and shoulder bolts, we'll go ahead and put in the clutch adjusting screw. And what I do is start it, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pull on the clutch lever handle and just move it in a little bit so that I can see when the clutch adjusting screw starts to hit and bottom out, so I can get the adjustment that we need in the clutch. And there we go, we come out. Now I'm going to back it off about 1/4 to 1/2 a turn and go ahead and lock it down. And this will show our standard installation. And the clutch pulls out fine and everything's good. And then once again, we've got 3 empty holes here that we can go ahead and put in more springs if we happen to have more horsepower. And with doing that, yes, the clutch handle will have a little bit more pressure to pull it in, so it'll be a little harder to pull in, but it will hold the horsepower. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and install these other 3 right now, just so you can see what it looks like with all 9 of the shoulder bolts and springs installed. And there you go. There you have it, chain drive clutch install. And so now you can fill it back up with your fluid. We usually run our fluid just below the bottom of the clutch plates, and go from there. Happy riding.